Yes, good evening. We're back with a Celtic Unrestricted View. It's myself, JP, and joining me this evening is a freshly faced new man, Mr. Alan Stirling. How are we, Alan? Hope you're well, mate.
Fantastic. It's like Christmas Eve. See the Celtic again. So happy days, my man.
Happy days indeed, big man. Happy days indeed. And as you said, mate, it's like Christmas Eve. I think we're all going to have butterflies in my bed tonight, mate. As I say, it's been long awaited. And as I've just put up the banner there, it is Flag Day is back upon us. And it's a Celtic to fly the flag high. Where have I heard that before? One of the songs we sang in it.
Oh, of course.
Well, obviously, it was Monday night since you were last on, mate.
Huh?
Um, what was your thoughts in terms of the... Just quickly before we start, what was your thoughts in terms of the Atletico Balboa game, for James's testimonial the other night?
I thought there were highs and lows. Thought especially the second half we looked kind of very impressive with our football. Few minor mistakes in the first half. But the way kind of Brendan's got it set up, I'd say the kind of sharp flow and passing that he's shown at the minute has got me quite excited to see where we're going with it. And I think he'll bring a lot of the players on with that kind of style of football. It's pre-season, but you don't want to get too overexcited with it. But I was impressed with certain aspects of the game.
Yeah, I think the census, obviously myself, Ryan and Baza was on Wednesday, mate, and obviously I think the census between us was, it was like a game of two halves.
Yeah.
So effectively, Celtic played in the let's face it, they never covered themselves in glory in the first half. They were sloppy in possession, they were giving the ball away. A couple of
Yeah.
players, making their debut, but a couple of nervous, you know, one extremely nervous debut. I thought, a big boy Quan.
Uh,
I thought he
yeah.
was trying too hard, Alan. I thought he, a couple of nice passes, but overall, I thought, he was giving the ball away. He was doing things that he shouldn't have been doing, and obviously Hatate as well. Again, mate, they're trying to get the cobwebs off. I get it. It's pre-season, but I think these are the kind of games where you need to eradicate these mistakes pretty quickly because your season's starting from tomorrow, mate. About to come back with a bang. Was there anyone particular in the game um, that stood out to yourself? For
Huh?
myself, mate,
I
it was
know.
the boy. It was a boy in the second half, a boy home. I thought he
Uh,
was outstanding. He looks very good. Was there any that stood out for you, mate?
I totally agree with you, JP. We discussed last week what there's 5 unknown players that were brought in. So we're just kind of getting to grips with what these guys can do. But I was really impressed with home, especially that's his home debut. He'd got a certain amount of minutes beforehand in the other games, but
Yep.
he looked very composed. Uh, his passing looked accurate. He was very active with chasing balls down. Uh, so overall, I was mostly impressed with home. The other
Mhm.
guy that already played with us that I was really impressed with was his work rate and his output was O. I thought
Yeah.
we've seen a different aspect of O. He was coming more back towards the midfield. He was helped out a lot more and he was running about the ball a whole lot more. And
Mhm.
I seen a different aspect to his game there and was impressed with O as well.
Yeah, mate, I really, really was myself. I thought the big fella came on, and I said to Ryan, there was a couple of times he was dropping in deep, picking the ball up, but he was on every time he was looking to turn, he lifted his head, but there was a couple of switches of play was on, and he was looking for his compadre and the boy Yang, and there was a couple of times where he made the passes, and I thought to myself, he's made the passes before, he's done that before. That's not something that's his first rodeo with. So I think, yeah, I was impressed with that, mate. I thought David Turnbull was absolutely exceptional when he came on. His movement in and out of positions, picking the ball up, passing it on. His goal was lovely. Again, setting that up as well. I thought was absolutely quality, good bit of play. I thought Alessandro Bernabe was probably his best game for Celtic in as he since his
Mm.
arrival. I think he's, one of the boys I know calls him Duracell. He just doesn't stop. He just runs about mental. Sometimes he comes across a bit like a headless chicken, but I thought the other night he was well disciplined and he knew when to do it, when not to do it. He sat in when he wanted the ball and then he moved on. He was looking for 1-2s constantly. Thought it was really nice play between him and Matt O'Reilly for
Right.
his finish, and it was a really good finish as well. I still stick to my guns with that one, Alan. I don't think he's a left back, mate. I think he's more of a full back, but more of an attack minded type of full back. Um, and I really hope Brendan Rodgers can bring not only a bit of confidence out in him, but more to do with, just a firm belief that, he deserves to be in the team and he can get his share in the team. I think the most important part to take away for Wednesday night, Alan, was we beat a very good side.
Yeah.
There's no doubt
Aye.
about it, mate. We beat a very good side. I know they don't finish high up in the La Liga, but it just shows you how very technical La Liga is. When in the first half, we struggled at spells to get the ball off of them.
Mm.
And they were able to, the way we set up in the first half, we set up, it was like a 4-3-3, but with a sitter. So it was
Aye.
kind of, that's the first time I've ever seen Brendan Rodgers do that sort of formation. And then it just looked that when they set, but they'd set up, they took the ball off us, and they were able to counter from there. And then obviously the second half we got into the 4-2-3-1, and I think that more suited the way obviously Rodgers wants to play, putting his message across and doing that way, mate. So I think there was a lot of positives, as you said, to take for the game. But again, mate, you can't take away that we beat a very good side.
I think that's the big thing that you've just mentioned there as well. As much as I loved, and I think everybody did love watching Angie's style of play, I think when Rodgers comes in, he's maybe a bit more pragmatic. That when his style of football, it was plan A, and it was if that didn't work, it was do plan A better. Whereas
Yeah,
Rodgers is a guy that we kind of he can change things within the game tactically, so we can expect kind of maybe a European game if we're playing that. If it's not going to plan, then we've got different styles of tactics and formations that we can adjust to. So I think what you've seen the other night, it was just kind of patterns of play that we can maybe change within games throughout the season.
absolutely, mate. And I think that's the more we go. You heard, listening to the press conferences, you heard Callum McGregor saying we've been working on a few formations, and he's like, I'm not going to get into too much detail and sort of like
Aye.
tell you guys, but obviously, but you could. That was the way Rodgers, his first Celtic team played. They were really
Yeah.
flexible in and out of position, the way they changed, the way they interchanges. So I think again, this team's quite young. A lot of young boys. So in my opinion, mate, they're going to get a very good education in terms
Aye.
of the way Rodgers wants to play. And again, mate, it's only going to bode them well because they are in company with, in my opinion, mate, an elite manager.
Aye. Definitely as an elite manager. You've seen the kind of level of performances, the unbeaten season, 7 trophies out of 7. Basically dominated Scottish football at that time.
Yeah,
So and moved to Leicester, whether Celtic fans liked or disliked that, but they finished fifth 2 times in that kind
hmm
of elite league. That's not to be sniffed at as well. Quarterfinals, European, uh, the Conference League,
yeah,
an FA Cup win as well for a team the size of Leicester. It's
hmm
quite an impressive resume to have, and for him to come back, he can only have learned more with managing down south for that winter time as well. So
yeah,
I'm really excited for what it's going to bring.
yeah, absolutely, mate. And obviously that continues and brings us to tomorrow. As I said, it's Flag Day. We unfurl the flag, we fly it high, and again we've got to park it up from what we done last season, and we go again, mate, in terms of what this season's going to bring and the challenges we're going to have to face. Obviously, before we do that, mate, I'm just going to bring a few there's people joining us, obviously, and it's important to recognise that also, mate. So, Ange M is joining us on YouTube and says, "Evening, folks. Here's hoping Jerry H makes an appearance for the quiz. You're only hoping he does because he seems to be the one that seems to get all the answers for you guys. So, I'm hoping he doesn't, just to throw a spanner right in your works. That'll be funny. I hope you're well, Ange. Good evening." And Jerry H joins us and he says, "Good evening, guys. Sorry, Ange, I'm at work." So there you go, Ange. Your night hasn't got off to the best of starts for you, but there we go. Corvo joining us also, Alan. He says, "Big up, lads." Corvo's a big Newcastle fan, Alan. I don't know if you've seen comments from Corvo before, but I think myself and Ryan have deemed this hardest and tried our best to get Corvo swayed onto the Glasgow Celtic way, mate. Yeah, I think we're starting to kind of. I think he's starting to kind of get there. He's slowly but surely. We've still got a bit of work to do, but as Eddie Howe says, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Plunge joining us also. He says, "Looking forward to the season. Let's go." Yep, let's go indeed, Plunge. I think we're all in the same boat, Alan. I think we're all looking forward to the season, mate.
Can't wait. Honestly, just to see what kind of football we're playing and some of the new players to come in, see what kind of aspect of football they can bring to our team.
Yep.
Obviously,
Ross William comments here saying, "Hail, hail, boys, buzzing for the hoops tomorrow." I think we're all the same. Like you says at the beginning, Alan, it's like Christmas Eve, mate.
as no sleep tonight.
Well, you might need to, mate, because it's an early rise tomorrow. If you don't, you'll be like an off-shot knife. Got to that game tomorrow, but no, as I said, mate. So tomorrow, obviously, it's nearly upon us now. So tomorrow we entertain Ross County. Have you seen much of Ross County, Alan, in terms of, they've been in the League Cup groups, and obviously last week was a disappointing result for them. They lost 4-3 in penalties to Kelty Hearts, but apart from that result aside, I think they'd quite a positive League Cup group phase. Have you managed to see any of the Ross County games at all?
Not as much this year. I've seen a few of the highlights, but I think that a lot of the kind of lower 16s in the league, because of their kind of transfer budgets as well, their, their squads and teams kind of change quite frequently year to year. So it's just a kind of time for them bedding in, and we need to see what kind of players they've brought in and what kind of setup they've got. Well, you look at the two boys they had before. Was that Humble, and there was another one that, the double barreled name that went down south. But they left as soon as they done anything. Aye. Regan Charles Cook.
Cook it was, yeah.
So as I say, as soon as they impress at all up here, they're moving on down south to kind of League One, League Two. So you find with the kind of lower teams that they're trying to kind of unearth diamonds for elsewhere. So kind of need to see what kind of setup they've got and what kind of players they've brought in. But you always find with Malcolm Mackay's team, they're always kind of relatively well drilled, well set up. So I would expect kind of a low block, and they'll just kind of try and frustrate Celtic as much as they can. So we just kind of like to try our best to play through that, and hopefully class will tell at the end up.
Yeah, I think they do. Well, like I say, I looked at their team last week, mate, and they had like Laidlaw in goals. They played a back three. Their midfield was five, but they played it with a diamond shape. So they put the boy Danda sort of like in the 10 position, and they played with the boy Murray and Jordan White up front. But I think tomorrow, mate, I don't think they're going to be able to have that affordability to be able to come to Celtic Park and play with two strikers, mate. If they do, I think then they will get absolutely swallowed. Again, that's just my opinion. Malky might, he might very well surprise us all, and that's the way to do it. They come in and that's they have a proper go, try and get them off to a good start in the season. But I think they'll play 4-5-1. I spoke to Ryan about this before as well. My guess is they'll play 4-5-1 and try and have Jordan White there to, hitting on the second balls, try to, get the team up the park, and basically looking for scraps. So I personally think that's the way they'll go. I've not really personally seen much of them. I've seen some of the results. I'm looking at the last time I properly watched them was probably the playoff against Partick Thistle. I thought they were very poor. I thought in the game Thistle just maybe ran out of legs in terms of, overall fitness. I think maybe the amount of games that Thistle had to play all the way through those playoffs was starting to maybe tell on them towards the end of that game. Yeah, as I say, it's I think, the Celtic, the way they play, I think I've got a feeling Celtic will keep the ball from them. And usually when you see Ross County at Celtic Park, they'll probably set up in that mid to low block, and then they'll try and counter. But when they'll try and counter, Celtic trigger it, and then they'll press onto it, and then when they press onto it, Celtic keep the ball and are able to play through, because the thing Ross County are guilty of is leaving a man himself, leaving a man, a man spare, but he's also he's spare maybe up against like the running power of Kyogo and Maeda. So it's kind of 2-on-1 all the time, because Ross County have maybe tried to counter us, but they've put too many men into the counter attack. So I think maybe tomorrow, mate, I think you'll see probably they'll need to be very calculated in everything they do, mate, because if they're not, then it could end up an absolute cricket score. Because any normal flag day for Celtic are normally out of traps, they're flying. It's a bit like the trophy day at Celtic Park. They're normally, whoever the team they play against, Celtic are normally right up for that, and they're normally, flying on that day. So I think tomorrow will be no different, mate. I think all of us here will be humongously shocked if tomorrow isn't anything but a comfortable Celtic victory, mate.
Aye, no, you're spot on. I think as fans, we always speak about the kind of Scottish Premier League with the kind of teams that act like your hammer throws, may it be.
Yeah.
But I think Ross County are your kind of epitome of that. They've always got two kind of strong centre halves in the back, and
Mm-hmm.
then Jordan White as well. He's always the out ball that comes up. But when you look at our front three, and I would think that it's going to be kind of Kyogo, Maida, and Abada, electric pace. And if they've got two centre halves that they usually have, they really need to kind of take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
So if they do step forward, as you say, Stripey, then that leaves room in behind that these three very dangerous, fast guys can take advantage of. So I would expect us to be winning by a few of them more. So I'm hoping that it is as comfortable as that. But we should, if we've got expectations, gone ahead and kind of winning three trophies again, then Ross County at home should be something that should be dealt with kind of relatively well. So I would expect kind of comfortable 3 points tomorrow.
Yeah, I really do. I really can't envisage anything else but a comfortable Celtic victory tomorrow, Alan. I really don't, because, as I say, I look at the team we've got. I heard Tam McManus's comments earlier on today, and he was on PLZ Soccer, and he says, I'm not too sure about Celtic in terms of the European campaign and what it's going to be like in terms of the squad-wise there. He said, but they've very much got the squad to be able to just go on and, obliterate a treble again. I don't see any reason why they can't. I don't see who's going to stop them. This is the way he spoke today. So
I
Again,
hope he didn't mention Haksabanovic.
no, he never even
Mind
mentioned it.
that,
He never mentioned any
mind that
individuals.
Haksabanovic.
Aye,
Do you know what I mean?
aye,
Like
I do. Yeah, I do.
that?
I do. I do. But yeah, I think tomorrow, mate, in terms of Celtic's preparation, has been really good leading up to. You think of last Saturday was a very good result against a Wolves team who are in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Wednesday night, albeit a testimonial, but they beat a very good team who were competitive and um, they
Technical as
showed
well.
they showed how technically good they were. Yeah, in terms of some of their individuals, the boy Munyain, the other lad Unai scored the goal. So I really do think that 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 was very pleasing to watch us coming back, losing that game the other night to then go on and winning it. That was pleasing. I think there's a lot of desire and character amongst this Celtic team, Alan, as well. There's a lot of know-how, guys that know how to get things over the line. There's success all the way through the nucleus of the squad. Boys have been there, they've won 5 trophies. So, guys like Joe Hart, Callum McGregor, Carol Starfelt, you know, CCV, um, Kyogo, Abada, Matt O'Reilly, Rio Hatate, David Turnbull. All these kind of guys, have been instrumental the last couple of years in us winning those 5 trophies. Greg Taylor, he's been instrumental in it as well. So again, there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience here, especially domestically. So again, mate, that to me is another massive reason as to why I think Celtic will win tomorrow very comfortably, and it could be anything Celtic want it to be, mate.
Yeah. You've just mentioned there, the spot on JP, the kind of the winning mentality and the trophies that we've won. It's instrumental for going forward.
Yep.
As I say, Ross County at home, we should be taking care of that because we're going to have Aberdeen away and then Rangers away the beginning of next month as well. So these are games that we need to kind of build momentum
Mm-hmm.
to go to these kind of more difficult games. So this is a game that we should be kind of putting on a wee bit of style, put in a few goals by, and a clean sheet. Always brilliant as well, just to build that confidence as well. So going forward, that we know that we're still the best team in this country. So
Mm-hmm.
we need to go and show that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely, mate. I think that comes again, mate. I don't know if I'm maybe reading into it too much, but again, you listen to the pressers and you can hear the excitement coming for the players as well. You can hear you know, the anticipation building, but you can also hear in the players, the determination to do well. You can also hear it in the manager, the determination to be successful, the hunger that they seem to be carrying at the moment, mate. And that to me above everything else, will stand on its own out in the pulpit or the pedestal or whatever you want to call it, because that alone, mate, it's a big thing and a big weapon for the full team to have that hunger and desire to keep going and winning more trophies. I mean, a lot of these guys are young guys, mate, and some of them had to win medals and trophies to the came to us. They've now experienced 5 over the last couple of years. Alistair Johnson came in, spent half the season and won the treble, lifted the 3 trophies. So they've came for teams, Alan, and no disrespect, they're still really good levels, but they've came for teams who haven't been successful and haven't won trophies with. So they've came for those back, but they've come into this team and had to get to grips with it straight away. So
You know what it's like as a fan, JP? Like, see when you taste defeat, there's nothing more bitter than tasting that defeat that, see, a couple of years ago after winning 9 leagues in a row, that defeat. So these guys have come in and had that taste of winning trophies, being successful. They'll want to continue that, so that'll be the determination and the hunger that drives them. because that taste of success is massive. So that winning breeds more winning. So these guys winning that, they'll know what to do now, and they'll get that taste of success that they'll want to continue to do. So forth. So
Mm-hmm.
it can only be a good thing for these guys that they know the part of winning, so they want to continue to win more.
No, absolutely, mate. It's come to a point now, mate, where all the players are all chomping at the bit to play every week. Every one of them want to be part of it because they know it's special. They know it's this, it's that. It's kind of you know set in stone for them, and there's a platform for these guys there, Alan, to go and be successful and be. He'll give them so much, and then it's up to them to then take that on, or they don't. One guy I think personally, and this is what I'm coming to now, maybe certain individuals who I think are going to flourish under Brendan Rodgers. One guy I think will take this on is Liam Scales. I think he will take on information and he will take his game on another level. The reason I think that is because of what I've saw in pre-season of him. The dedication, the
No,
drive, he put his head into things. I mean, Scales was never known for getting up and head on a ball. Over in Japan, he was putting his head into things, determination not to concede. That's what you want to see in your players, Alan. You don't want to see players hiding and like no one to know. You want to see them getting right in about it and showing that drive and hunger. I personally think Scales is right now for me. Scales is better than Stephen Welsh and Kobayashi. I think he's more tougher. He's more aggressive. He's more athletic, and he's very good with the ball. You look at him against a very good opposition the other night, and this is how you judge these guys, mate. It's all right judging these guys against teams like Motherwell and against Livingston and stuff like that. See when they come up against the level up again, i.e. the technical players, the ones that are going to press you, put you under pressure, get you in areas where you need to play in a tight area, and you're either going to panic or you're going to flourish. I think, mate, he's shone in a really good light the other night for me, personally. He's just one of a few that I'm going to touch on tonight with you. But, mate, I'd like to know your thoughts on Liam Scales, because I think now, for me, and I spoke to Barry Bannon and Ryan about this on Wednesday, I think now he's jumped ahead of Welsh and Kobayashi, mate, and the manager's thoughts. I really do.
no, I definitely agree. I think if we're being honest with each other as fans, if we chase this before pre-season, who says is Liam Scales going to get anywhere near the squad? We thought he'd be leaving. We thought he'd go right back to Aberdeen or go elsewhere. But I definitely think these performances, he's definitely pushed himself above in the pecking order. Wow, uh, Kobayashi, and Welsh, because he looks reliable. I'm not saying he looks anything special, but he looks a lot more reliable, and I'd be quite happy to have him as a squad player there. So
Hmm.
obviously get Rocky and Starfelt, Carter Vickers ahead of him, but he looks as if he could do a job if if that's asked of him.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with you that he's went up in the pecking order since we've seen him last. So I think he's improved, and hopefully Rodgers continues to improve him more, and then we'll see how it goes. But I definitely agree with you, JP.
Yeah, no, definitely. The evidence is right there in front of you. If you watch football and you know the game, then you understand that he's improved. Now, take the Darvel game aside, when he was out on loan in Aberdeen, at the tail end of his Aberdeen, especially when Barry Robson came in and turned things round, and they ended up finishing third. It ended up pretty a successful season for them. So he ended the season really, really well. He scored a beauty of goal against the mob across the water.
Uh,
I know he says he meant it, but we all saw it. It was a definite cross. But not only that, the flexibility with Scales is also there, Alan, in terms of I think he's big enough, athletic enough, and good enough that he could potentially play left back for us as well if needed. So to have guys like Iwata, who can also play one or two, maybe even three positions, to come in and cover players and be that part of a utility man in the squad. Guys like that, mate, are invaluable to the squad because they stop you having to go and spend 4 or 5 million quid on maybe another guy for a designated position when you've already got guys like that there who are improving with your current first team. The boy Scales for me is that type of player. I think he's big enough, I think he's athletic enough, and I think he's technically decent enough to come in and cover that area. I really, really do. If you look at Bernaby, he's not the tallest, so I think he's going to be targeted in terms of maybe, just say for talking sake, we draw a Dundee United in the cup, right? So they've brought in Louis Moult, who seems a big bit of a lad. Louis Moult could probably stand on Bernaby and have a route one ball from the goalkeeper, potentially, because he's favourite all of a sudden to beat Bernaby in the air because of the natural makeup of the two players. There'll be guys in the Premier League like Jordan White who are big lads, but they'll target that area. Why? Just because of a guy's height. Greg Taylor's the same. Whereas if you've got Scales there, it then eliminates that immediate threat or an immediate, because then they need to think, they need to go, I can't play that ball to the left back. He's over 6 foot. And he's good, and he can head the ball, and he's aggressive enough to do it. So, again, mate, these are just options I think Rodgers can hang on to sort of throw that curveball into teams to get other teams thinking.
I think the most important point as well, you need to look at the last few weeks, our position at right back. I know Awata's come in there, but there's two players that's been injured. Now, you're talking about the possibility that Scales could go into left back. If that happened during the season, then you could put him in there. So it's all about options within a season. So if
Yeah,
you've got somebody in the squad that can play kind of multiple positions, then it can only benefit the squad that you've got that kind of cover in case injuries or suspensions or anything happen like that. So it is always a positive to have somebody that can play multiple positions.
yep,
Uh, I don't personally think that he'll be first pick in any of the two positions, but you look at world football, European English football as well, left-footed centre halves are always there's that more value in them. Every team's looking for a left-footed centre
they
half
just
because
look
the
different,
majority
don't
of
they?
centre halves are all right-footed. So
Mm-hmm.
if Rodgers can bring him on, if he can progress, the talent is there, but you need to see that progression for him to be pushing the three centre halves we've got at present. We're not going to be paying 4.5 million for the Polish guy we've got. He looks as if he's going to be third choice at present, possibly second, depending on
Mm-hmm.
what happens with Starfelt. A lot of rumours going about with that. But at the minute, hopefully under Rodgers' tuition, Scales can kind of keep progressing, and then hopefully he can push for that. And then
Mm-hmm.
we've got a centre half that we're comfortable with that can play left back as well. So it's only all positives for the club.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I think Monty makes a good point there as well in terms of Scales. Then we're obviously going to move on now from that to one of the other players. Scales is also going to add a bit of height to the team in our own penalty area as well, i.e. probably defending set pieces, the way we set up. He'll also add a bit of height for us getting into the opposition penalty area and give us an option there, especially the way Matt O'Reilly likes to float balls or David Turnbull or, so yeah, I really do think keeping Scales has more pros to me than it does with cons. Again, that's the beauty of it, Alan, is everybody's got their opinions, mate, and we're not all the same. If we were all the same, what a boring world it would be. Um, Another player I want to come to is David Turnbull. The reason I'm saying that is because on Wednesday night, mate, I don't know if you managed to see it. Barry Bannon totally threw my head into a tornado. And he mentioned the fact that David Turnbull was like James Maddison in terms of the way he picks the ball up in the areas that he does. And I'll be honest, I hadn't watched David Turnbull a great deal in that detail to go and analyse what he was meaning. After Baza told me that, me being the big sado that I am, go and do my research in terms of the way David Turnbull plays to the way James Maddison plays. Mate, honest to God, it's like sometimes the two of them are twins. I've never seen that before in my life. I really haven't. And when Barry done that to me the other night, I went away and I done my homework to just see it for myself. And because I like to, obviously, when that happens and you don't know too much about something, rather than speak about it, I would rather go and get the knowledge firsthand, and then you can put your own opinion across. But mate, honest to God, like it totally threw me into a tornado when Baz says that the other night. But Alan, honestly, he's absolutely spot on, totally spot on. He's wow. There is a massive similarity. The only difference between the two of them is he plays in England, he plays in Scotland, and that's it, mate. The way David Turnbull picks the ball up, the way he moves with the ball, the way he turns, the way he shoots, his set pieces, they're all similar, mate. Like, I think he could have a big season this season under Brendan. I think he but Rodney Sonziger at getting a manager like Brendan in, because I've seen training videos and photos. I don't know if you've seen them, mate, and it's one-on-one sessions with him and Rogers sitting, and talking about things, and Rogers pointing to bits on the park and wee things that are going on. So I think David Turnbull could potentially be a dark horse, mate, to maybe achieve something really good this season for us.
I think the big difference is in Andrew's team, the way he liked to play. Ange wanted us 100% pressing constantly, 100 miles an hour. David Turnbull's not an athlete. David Turnbull is a great technical player. He's
Hmm.
no the kind of player that's going to be running everything down constantly, like your Hatate, like Piogo, like Maida.
Yeah.
But under Brendan Rodgers, it's a slightly different style of football. He could flourish, but I think the big thing that's hanging over that is that he's got a year left in his deal.
Uh-huh.
And you know fine well Celtic don't like to let players kind of run down that deal because in January he could sign for somebody else. So
Yep.
if Brendan Rodgers does see a future for him, I could see him signing a new deal. But
Hmm.
if David Turnbull's not interested in staying at Celtic to push into that team, I could also see him being pushed on uh, before the transfer window comes out. But I think David Turnbull was one of the players that I think most Celtic fans would have put at the top of the list that was going to leave the club this summer
Hmm.
uh, because how little he featured under Ange. But he's he's played very well in every appearance he has in pre-season.
Hmm.
I have been impressed with him, and maybe that style of football change, just that slight change of tactics that Rodgers has compared to Ange, it might
Yep.
bring the best out in Turnbull. So,
Hmm.
as I say, I think it'll be very important to see at the end of the transfer window if David Turnbull's still here. Then I'd say Rodgers thinks he's got an important future if he still is at Celtic.
I think you're spot on, mate. I think that's a great point you've made there in terms of, David Turnbull not being an athlete and not being that runner that Ange constantly wanted. Um, but what he has got, as you said, is a lot of technical quality and abundance that, he could play that eye the needle pass, or, that ball over the top, or and he can shoot for distance. and he's got some strike on him that can also be a big threat in terms of getting his goals. And you've seen his goals in Japan, you've seen his goal the other night. So no, mate, I totally agree with you. I think he's I think he's definitely one that could have a massive future for us if he can, get his game together. And you know, if Rodgers can get in about him and help progress his game on, then I really think he's got a lot to offer us. Is this his last year?
That is, yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
I could
So
possibly see
the signs
Stuart
the signs are going
Armstrong
to be there. Yeah, the signs are going to be there pretty soon. Then, if they're going to give him a new deal, or is he going to run the last year of that contract down? I think it'll all depend on the start of the season where we might be looking in terms of who else is maybe still to come in, and you know, is Rodgers going to be in? 'Cause I thought he was outstanding again on Wednesday night for against Bilbao. And that's any time I've seen David Turnbull play against a European type opposition for us, he's shown up really, really well. You look at the Lille game at Celtic Park, mate, he was excellent that night. So was Sorrow. And he's away out in the darkness now. So, but that night, the two of them were very good. And I think his free kicks and his dead balls and stuff, I think he's a big asset for the team still, mate. And I really do think, I really hope that he can get his cell in the team somehow. But it's going to be hard because McGregor, Hatate, and Matt O'Reilly are the ones to beat. I think, mate. They've got that as a nailed on shoe, and I think for the midfield three. But what about yourself, mate? I mean, is there anybody that's took your attention right away? I know I've named a couple there in terms of Scales and David Turnbull, but what about yourself? Is there anybody that's caught your eye straight away
and
that's maybe not?
the two throughout pre-season I've been really impressed at Lucas Asapari come on leaps and bounds under Rodgers has been a bad and O'Reilly. I think you just seen me O'Reilly's touch that assist for Bernaby the other night.
Yeah, it was
That
lovely.
was top class. So the age of Matt O'Reilly, I could see him coming on leaps and bounds under Rodgers. Definitely the kind of player that Rodgers would like to kind of progress. You look at what good Rodgers done for kind of Rogic and Armstrong when they come in, and I would definitely say Matt O'Reilly's under the same kind of uh, player as Rogic and Armstrong, similar, not
Yeah,
exactly the same. I'd be looking at them. Abada as well, he looks so much sharper. And I don't know if it's because maybe Jota leaving, that'll give him the kind of limelight to come in.
yeah,
Jota was obviously one of the stars for last year. So maybe that limelight could go over to Abada, and he's looked really sharp, really well. I'm not so sure he can flip flop like Jota did to over the left hand side when he was playing there all night at the left hand side. I thought he looked as if he was coming more central at times, whereas I think the benefit of Abada is that he can run at people. Uh, so I don't know if he's got that kind of ability, but I've been massively impressed with Abada and O'Reilly, and I think they'll only get better as the season gets on. I think the two of them's only the 21, 22. So there's
yeah,
only going to be progression between the two of them, and that's the guys I've been looking at this season that are going to progress and take it up that wee step more.
you've mentioned the man of the night. Corville's just told us there that he can't watch Celtic when O'Reilly plays because his lassie goes on about how beautiful it is.
Mate,
I'd
my wife
imagine
was
it.
going to
I'd imagine it starts to get a bit warm in the company, Corville. Aye. But no, as I say, I think we've all got it. Matt O'Reilly's he's a bit of a ladies' man, isn't he? I've heard quite a few ladies commenting on his appearance and the way he looks, and that was that photo appeared on his Instagram in pre-season there. Well, in the off-season, should I say, when he was on holiday with his partner, and she's standing. Obviously, I think she's taking the photo, and he's just getting out He's just getting out of the water. So it was like maybe something out of a Bond movie or something like that. But for the females this time instead of the males, because the one in the Bond movie is a female coming out of the water. But
You
no, as
seen
I
him at
say,
half time, like?
no, actually, I don't think he'll won it. He's up early. He's up early tomorrow for the game, isn't he, mate? So he's no, he'll not be on. He'll not be on a 10:30 show tonight, mate. I don't think. Right, moving on, mate. So we're getting now to the nitty gritty part of this wee episode tonight. Right, I'm going to ask you for your team predictions, Alan, in terms of what you think the team might be tomorrow and why.
There's a couple of positions tomorrow that's going to say a hell of a lot for what's going to happen in the transfer window. I find it strange. I know that it was a testimonial all right, but I found it strange that Joe Hart was fully stripped. I would expect him to come back in tomorrow, but with Seagrass playing as well, I think we're going to be looking for a new goalkeeper. Joe Hart's been phenomenal, brilliant for his leadership the last couple of years, but
Yep.
we haven't seen this. That I think I don't know if that was a tell or it's just something I'm not into too much, but he's fully stripped and he didn't come on. You done or two, taking half and half. So I think it'll say a lot who plays in goals tomorrow, and it might be a wee curveball if you see the likes of Seagrass or Bain going. But I would say Hart to start.
Oh, don't say Bain,
I
mate.
think
You'll send
I
Ryan
know
into overdrive, man.
we've not got a lot of choice. I know. I'd be going with Ralston, Carter Vickers, and then another point with all the rumours that are swirling. There's no they smoke without fire a lot of times, and I hope it's wrong, but a lot of rumours circling about Starfelt.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll say a lot tomorrow if he starts or no.
Has there been a
Uh,
bid? Has there been a bid for him? Or I don't think
no,
there has
it's
been.
just a lot of rumours, but there's nothing concrete that I've seen. But there's a hell of a lot of rumours kicking about him. And usually, with the amount of rumours going about like that, there's usually some substance to it. I hope it's all right. I hope it's just kind of paper talk, whatever. But I'd be going with Carter Vickers and Starfelt. I think Polish centre half done reasonably well the other night. Nothing that you could pick up on, but I think you go with your tried and tested at the minute until the other guy shows how good he is. I think Taylor will start. You get a midfield, I'd say it'll be McGregor, Hattati and O'Reilly. And I think the midfield and forwards take care of themselves. Up front will be Maida, Abada and Kyogo. I think it's the goalkeeper and the back line that I think the only questions can be asked about that.
Okay. Okay. This is, by the way, before I start, this is just what's in my head, right? This is what I think might happen. Excuse me. So before MD jumps on me and says, "If you get inside knowledge," no, I haven't. This is just what I think could potentially happen. I do think it'll be Joe Hart, right? But I think there's potential for Scott Bain to start tomorrow. I really do, and come in right out the cold. I really do. The reason I'm saying that is because of the way he can play with the ball at his feet and how comfortable he is at zipping passes and starting moves. Because again, that's a very important part of the way Rodgers wants to play. If you remember back to the first time, that's why he brought Doris de Vries in. He was no bad with the ball at his feet, but he wasn't a very good shot stopper. And then eventually tried to develop Craig Gordon's game into being good with the ball at his feet, but also Craig Gordon, as we know, is an exceptional goalkeeper in terms of being able to shot stop and everything else. So I think there's potential. I think I agree with you, Alan. I think there is potential for a total throw your mind one there with a goalkeeper. I think it will be Joe Hart though, but there could be potential um, for that to happen. I think the defence will be Tony Ralston, Carter Vickers. I think it'll be Narowski. I really do. I don't think you're paying 4.3 million quid for a guy to come in and sit on the bench, mate. I think he's I think he's a shoe-in to come in and be a starter, mate. I don't think you can afford to pay that amount of money and leave a guy on the bench. And I think it'll be Greg Taylor that starts at left back. The midfield, I'm going to go a wee bit different. I think it could be the boy home, Callum McGregor and Hatate. I really think I think he's very impressed with the way home, especially the way he played in the second half against a very good side the other night. I think it'll be Abada, Maeda, and Kyogo through the middle. So that's the team I think it could be. Again, we've all got opinions, guys. Monty, I know De Vries wasn't the best of goalkeepers, mate, but Rodgers brought De Vries in, mate, to play with the ball at his feet. It was just unfortunate for us that De Vries wasn't very good with his hands. So I do think I do, and that's why then it was into the season that had started, and we beat Rangers 5-1, and then we went to it was the Tuesday night, I think it was. After that, we went to Barcelona and we got rattled with 6. Gamboa made his debut, threw him right in it, right back. And then obviously as you say, the rest is history. But I'm looking at the game and I'm thinking the way a manager would think. I know Rodgers probably won't be fully confident with Joe Hart. I do agree with you, Alan. I think there will be a change in that department, though. I do think that a goalkeeper is something that they will be looking for. In terms of other positions and stuff, I've always said the boy from mid to front were fine. I did think that after the Yokohama game, mate, the back five needed surgery. But again, mate, you're looking at that because Alistair Johnson's injured, Anthony Ralston's injured, Carter Vickers hadn't kicked a ball since then. By the way, I could be totally wrong. Carter Vickers might not play tomorrow because he's not a lot of games. He might play Narowski and Starfelt. Or he might play
And
Narowski
Ralston's the
and
one
Hales.
as well. Ralston looked a bit iffy when he spoiler alert. I know a lot of us no covered the Cell Glory, but
Uh-huh.
there's another position that's up for grabs, I'd say. Well, apart from, I'm saying for the weekend. Aye,
Yeah,
but I'm saying the backup there, but
yeah.
you wouldn't be surprised if Awata's played most of the pre-seasons. You wouldn't be surprised if he had Awata earlier for the starts tomorrow. But I think it will be
Uh,
Ralston, but
yeah, no, I do think it will be Ralston. I think if you've got a guy that's relatively fit and he's a natural right-sided, right back, then you would play him rather than playing Iwata out of position. Because effectively, for me, Iwata's probably best position would be midfield. I think he's more of a utility man. Would cover it right back. I don't think that's his best position naturally. Again, he caused the sort of second goal the other night. But I don't know what he was trying to do. He's looking clearance that he never connected with properly. But yeah, as I say, again, Brendan's one of those type of managers, mate. He's so hard to second guess because tonight he could just throw a surprise to the whole squad and say, right, this is what's going to happen, and everybody in the squad's like, never seen that coming. So he could play Bernaby, and we're all thinking he's going to play Greg Taylor, So again, mate, who knows? But again, that's why we're all different, mate, because we've all got our own wee thoughts and the way we think about things, the way we see things. But it's got the makings to be a right good start. Let's get a great result cemented in, good performance. Hopefully, we get a few goals and get off to a good start. Because I think that's all that we're looking for back at Paradise tomorrow, mate. And I'm assuming it will be a full house. So the place will be, noisy. It will be jumping, and here's hoping we get a very good start. Is there anything else you want to add, mate, before we go on to our wee Who Am I quiz for this evening?
fair play for your shout with Thiago home. That's a curveball and a half. Personally,
I done
I
this.
wouldn't
I don't know
mind.
how long. I don't know how long you were watching this. I was on with Barry Bannon and Ryan last season, and it was before his first derby, and they were talking about the boys were chatting about Juranovic potentially playing, and right away I went like, no chance. I said no way, and I knew Ange had brought Johnson into play. So I was like, if he's ready to go and he's a manager and odd, I said he's playing. And Barry Bannon made a comment about, oh, the big man's got inside information, he knows, and that's what happened. So Johnston played that day.
I think it's just the fact with how well O'Reilly's been playing. I wouldn't mind if home started, but I'd be finding it hard to shift any of the three for the start lineup, to be honest.
Yeah,
But you might text me tomorrow and say, I help you.
there you go. They said on the news earlier, JP 60,000 for tomorrow's game.
Aye,
Was that?
complete sale.
I wonder if that would be an estimation or that's the actual figures. It is sold out because even the public sale, as you know yourself, mate, the public sale did sell out pretty quickly. So no, I would imagine it's going to be really busy. Right, guys and girls and boys and girls and whoever else is want to be involved. Here's the fun part of this evening: the Who Am I quiz. Now, for everybody tuning in, folks, the Who Am I quiz has ran for a couple of weeks on here now. And basically, the way it works is I've changed it up the last wee while. So some weeks it's a player with his strip and his face is scrubbed out. And then I'll put up the once if the boys manage to guess who it is, I'll put up the player and the identity who they are. So I do think that tonight I've changed it up again. So tonight it's based on their Wikipedia, and you will see as we go. But the actual player photo, if anybody guesses correct, well, when I say anybody, I mean Alan. Alan hopefully will guess this correctly, and then I'll put it up. But he will get a certain amount of time, and then we'll need to move on if it's taking a wee bit too long. So that's how we run the Who Am I quiz, folks, for anybody that's probably not seen this before. So we'll just get right to it. I'll hit us away with the first one. And best of luck to everyone who takes part. Everybody that's commenting, guys, you can comment as much as you want, okay? I won't be giving the answer, though, until Alan's got the answer. Or if he doesn't get the answer, then I will. And I'll refer back to anyone who guesses correctly within the comments.
I've not got any comments either. So
Okay, okay.
just
No,
me.
Alan doesn't
Me
see the
recording.
comments, I'm afraid. No, so it's just myself. So here we go, Alan. Here's your start.
You know, even give us a years.
Nope. Nope. This is a whole part of this, mate. We do not have to make this easy.
That's Stefan Johansson.
Is that your final answer, mate?
Aye.
Well done. There we go. And he's right off to a flyer, folks. Stefan Johansson. I think this is going to be too easy. I'll need to make it hard for next week. Right, here we go. Second up. Here we go. I do apologise, guys. We will be flying through this if Alan's going to guess that fast.
Yeah, that's harder. Oh, Reggie Blinker. Reggie Blinker.
Final answer.
Aye.
Well done. And he is. The man himself, Reggie Blinker. Right, here we go. A wee bit more in terms of his playing career. Maybe a wee spanner in this for you. I doubt it though. You're probably a man with football knowledge like yourself, Alan, should be firing through these. Again, folks, well done to Hetty in the comments and Monty for guessing Reggie Blinker for the last one. And the one before that, Plunge McNugget, Hetty managed to guess the Stefan Johansson one as well. So very, very well done to use. Right, on to the next one, guys. And as I said, we will be firing through these. Here we go. I will take that banner down just now because it seems to be. I mean, there we go.
Well, that's a hard one. That's an older one we played back. Cold train and Celtic.
I think I'm going to narrow this. Well, somebody's got it in the comments already. I think I'm going to narrow this down to. I'll
So
give you three
JPC,
guesses.
the top here is where they first started, or is the bottom where, I'll take it the bottom's where they first started?
It's just all the clubs he played for.
Oh, it's not,
No,
it's not in order.
sorry,
It's not in order, no.
I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure. They're just the teams that obviously the individual played for. But yeah, there's a few people in the comments now have got the answer.
I'm struggling with that one.
If you are struggling, mate,
I'm
like I
struggling, you
says,
go.
I'll give you three guesses at it, so you can fire a baby some guesses. You probably will kick yourself because you definitely do know the fella.
Pat McGinley? No, I did
It's
put it
not.
on.
It's not Pat McGinley, mate. I actually think Pat had two spells
Ah,
at
no.
Hibernian.
Paul Hartley, no.
It's not Paul Hartley, no.
The Newcastle how it's thrown me. Oh,
I'll now not be referring back to the comments for this one, folks. Okay, so there is people already got it. So I'm going to give Alan a chance now to get this.
nah. I'll
You
be
give
saying
in?
stuff for that. Nah, I can't.
This man here,
John Jackson?
Aaron
I was
Jackson,
going
mate.
to say that
Yeah,
the last one, but I never thought that he played for Newcastle.
he did. He played
Oh,
for
wait, I was
Newcastle.
going to say that for the last. I was going to say, I'll just say Don Jack. Oh, nah, right, on you go.
You should have. You should have. There was a couple of people.
Right.
Punch, Monty, Hetty, Corval says Newcastle. I should know this lad, but then doesn't have a guess at who it's going to be. And that's not the way to play the game, lads. You need to have a guess at who the player's going to be. Right, last couple, so there's two more. So here we go. Here's one for you.
Paddy Roberts.
Here we go. Flying, there you go. Look at that. The flying wizard, Paddy Roberts. And this is your last question of the night, mate. Here we go.
I'm Watford. Uh, okay. Uh, that's that's throwing me. Watford. Theo Grant.
No.
No. Or your coach story. Uh,
Well done to someone in the. Well done to Jerry H in the comments. He is first to get this.
Carlton Cole. No, it's no point for Queen's
No,
Park.
it's not Carlton Cole, mate.
Queen's Park.
You've got one more guess at it now, mate. You threw two stabs at the dark. I'd think
Uh,
very, very carefully. A lot of lads are just throwing comments out now for banter. I think that they're just putting in throwaway comments. Again, I won't be referring now back to the comments because there is one or two now got the answer. So you've got one more guess at this, mate.
I was going to say David Marshall, but no, that's maybe Neil. He only played for Norwich. Uh, Nah. Oh, you go. Quick kick whistle, don't
You
you?
not got it?
Nah.
I put this in. You'll understand why I put it in. Because it's obviously relevant to our next game.
Okay. I wouldn't have thought that. Fair play, aye.
Like Malcolm McKay. Obviously, he left that season. Wim Jansen came in as well.
Yeah.
That's him at the very beginning. I think that was one of the first pre-season games we played.
Aye, that's right. It's
Um,
that.
yeah, that's a strip of that season. Well, mate, you done really, really well. You got 3 out of the 5, which was
Yeah.
very impressive at how quickly you managed to get them was more impressive, I think, than anything else, mate. And that concludes our Who Am I part of the Who Am I quiz for this Friday evening. Well, folks, I'm afraid that's all we have got time for. I fully appreciate everyone that's commented in. Again, guys, you know the drill. You know that obviously it's impossible sometimes for me to put everyone's comments up. Um, Obviously, we're discussing certain topics that we're chatting about on here, so it's just unfortunate I can't get everybody's comments up. We do see everybody's comment, and again, I thank everybody dearly for putting them in. Again, everybody that's commented uh, on the lives, thank you very much. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. Before we go, a couple of wee shouts, guys. You've probably seen earlier on the episode on the running bar just now, guys. The Celtic Unrestricted View have now got some merchandise. So we've got some mugs, and as you can see, we've got a nice wee crest on one side, and we've got the Celtic Unrestricted View podcast logo on the other. Now, the print on them, guys, is done in vinyl, okay? And there's the key rings, guys. So it's one nice cover photo. And again, on the other side print is the CUVP logo. So again, these are on sale just now, and the mugs are priced at £5, and the key rings, guys, are priced at £150 each. So if anybody wants to get their hands on anything, please give us a message either on the page through any one of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You can message us on here. We take comments in the community section of the YouTube channel. So all you need to do is click on the wee icon and go in, and you can leave a comment to the last post, and we'll be able to again get you sorted from there, guys. So well, it takes one to know one, Danny. Danny reckons he's purchasing a mug from a mug, but it definitely takes one to know one, Alan, and all that. As the story goes,
Alright.
mate.
Very good.
But yeah, again, guys, the mugs they're absolutely cracking. They're done in vinyl, so they're right good materials. A lot of detail in them as well, with that crest, and then obviously the logo on the other side. And as I say, the key rings are really good as well. So please don't hesitate to get in contact with us if you want to get your hands on them. Before we go, guys, just to let everybody know, for anybody that was tuning in for the first time tonight, this podcast is now sponsored by AB Entertainment. AB stands for Mr. Alec Beveridge, and Mr. Alec Beveridge is a DJ, and he runs a DJ company, AB Entertainment, and they basically cater for every function that you can think of. Anybody at all that's looking to get some entertainment done for a family member or even yourselves, if you get parties coming up, any kind of function at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, guys, or even reach out to that telephone number 07845 746 092 is the number you contact, guys. Mr. Alec Beveridge, he is on Facebook, Instagram, and you with that number, guys, you can message him on WhatsApp, tell him what it is you're looking for, and he will get you sorted. Again, guys, we had first-hand experience of Alec on our live event last Friday. He was absolutely sensational. We're so privileged to have him on board with this podcast. We've been really lucky, Alan, over the last couple of months to ascertain bringing Alec on board and doing the live events, and things are starting to look up for us. So again, mate, Alec's a very, very good guy, very down to earth, and he's also a big Celtic fan, which makes everything marry even quicker together. So yeah, so as I say, he does every type of party you can think of: double denim party, title winning parties, treble parties, I don't know, championship playoff parties, anything at all. I mean, you just give him a message and he will help you along the way with whatever it is you're looking for. Also, guys, anybody that's new to this podcast, please click the like button and the subscribe button. It will just let you know when the podcast goes live. It's totally free. We don't charge you at all to do that. So anybody at all likes what you see, please click the above buttons, guys. And again, it just helps us bring content to you. We are looking to bring some more guests. As I say, now we've got Barry Bannon as a regular contributor to the podcast as well on a weekly basis. So yeah, everything all being, Alan, is looking good. I know you're going to game tomorrow, mate. What most are you looking forward to just before we go?
The unfurther one of the flag, innit? That's the best part of every season, every winning season. So just that kind of knowing that you're the best in the country that year. So it's a familiar feeling we've got for a long time. So to see the setup at home as well. First domestic game. So hopefully we get a few goals and a clean sheet and move forward. Happy days.
Yeah, and I'm the same as you. Most of all, obviously, I'll meet this guy here. Plunge says, see you at the game tomorrow, JP. I get to see Plunge's nice, happy face. Well, I say happy face, he's happy sometimes. Definitely. I've met him a couple of times now, and to be honest, he's kidded on, he didn't know me once or twice as well, so that wasn't very nice. So hopefully tomorrow we've got a bit more energy about him. Hopefully he's not had any cold beans that'll put him in a downer, and we can never know. I'll know if double denim on tomorrow, Plunge, so you're definitely not getting any cuddles. Maybe Ryan will be able to help you out with that one, mate. If you tune in at 10:30, he'll be able to point you in the right direction about 11, mate. No, definitely. But guys, again, I hope everyone has a lovely, lovely weekend. Everybody that's going to the game, please go and enjoy yourselves. Here's hoping we get a very good result. And a massive hail to you all. Hail, guys.
For me.
tag.